Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, Ruto-Odinga and William Ruto have initiated a dialogue to sort out some of the issues that Azimio raised during the demonstrations. And therefore, at this moment, it is very important for anyone who supports Raila Odinga to listen very careful to every statement coming from the Kenya Kwanza side, so that we will understand exactly clear if really this dialogue should continue or it should be called off. Today it is the right time for you to listen to William Samoei Ruto every time we speak, to anyone close to Ruto, because if Ruto has initiated a dialogue, then it is him to talk to his people to understand on how they have to address Kenyans as the dialogue continues. The likes of Kimani Ichung'wah, regarding Gachagua and the team. Then from Azimio side, of course, for them they have to monitor what Azimio is saying. Because now, what surprises Kenyans is the latest statement that William Ruto himself issued while in Kigali, Rwanda. Ruto went further to suggest that he will not go into a mongrel of government by initiating a handshake between him and the opposition. So you wonder, the tone and the body language of William Ruto suggests that it's like Azimio has asked for a handshake and to be part of that government. And in real sense, Azimio is against the handshake. They don't want to go into an Usumkate kind of arrangement. That's what, because this is what Raila Odinga had said earlier, even before Ruto issuing his statement. Because people were asking about the handshake and all that. This is what Raila Odinga said. I just want to read it. We have never talked about a handshake. That is a language coming from the other side. I don't even want to shake Gachagua's hand. Gachagua alikuwa amesema hivyo. But again, if you listen to Cherargei saying that Raila cannot go into a dialogue with William Ruto when he has refused to recognize William Ruto as the president. Then from there we ask a question. Why is Raila and Ruto initiating a dialogue? The reason is, number one, Raila does not believe that Ruto won election. So there is unfinished business they have to resolve about the server. Mambo ya cost of living na mambo ingine na IPC, that one can be sorted out. No problem. But for the one that will make Raila to recognize Ruto as a president, it is the server. And this Kenya Kwanza jokes goes to an extent of someone like Millicent Omanga, a CAS, which is an constitutional position telling Raila Odinga to adhere strictly to the constitution and rule of law. Then you wonder, these people, do they even think before they say what they want to say? Because Raila was clear, we will not only involve the parliament in this bipartisan talk, let us also include other people outside the parliament. Raila understands very well. Some of his trusted people are not in the parliament. Ruto has his trustees in the parliament. He can buy everyone here. But you see, Raila wants to involve other people like maybe Kalonzo Musyoka in this dialogue, Martha Karua, or Eugene Wamalwa. These people are not in the parliament. That's why he's saying that we need to have another team outside the parliament. And the minority leader in the Senate has a message also for Cherargei and the Kenya Kwanza side, including even William Ruto. It was very clear. Azimio will accept defeat if Sava shows Ruto won the election. He was on a Spice FM on an interview. And this is what he said. I quote him. It is so simple. When we say open the server, what is the big deal about that? If you won, you won. If you have lost, you have lost. First of all, I wanted to listen to a statement from William Ruto all the way from Kigali. Then from there, we are going to go to the response from Babu Owino, which actually signals the next step of Azimio la Umoja, which is going to be very little going forward.
Because of this situation, I want to tell you, there will be no handshake. But there will be an engagement in parliament on the issues that have been raised. Those that Parliament can resolve, they will be resolved. And when I say there will be no handshake, I know that there is a context, like we were being told here, please have a handshake. Unfortunately for us in Kenya, a handshake has a different connotation. And that is the one that I am talking about. The handshake that brings the opposition and government into some conundrum and a mongrel and an outfit that is undemocratic, unconstitutional, and illegal.
Now, after this, Babu Owino responded, and it was very clear. Number one, we said open the server. Number two, cost of living. Number three, jobs. Number four, IBC, among other things. But handshake was not part of the conversation. Listen to Babu Owino shortly, then from here we're going to conclude this discussion.
Then yesterday, William Ruto made statements while in Rwanda, Kigali, statements which majorly were not going well with the sovereignty of this nation. That was undermining the sovereignty of our nation, because you don't move from your country to make statements which are not uniting Kenyans from another country. That is conduct unbecoming, that is professional misconduct, and also unprofessional conduct of him to demean the sovereignty of our country. Be that as it may, our side, the Azimio team, the demands that we made never included handshake. We didn't want, and we still don't want, the handshake. It never included nusu mkate, but included the cost of living, which is high, which must be reduced. It included opening of the servers. It included provision of jobs to our youth, young men and women in this country, among other demands that we issued. Then when we had the statement, now we know that the Kenya Kwanza regime is not serious, because it is them who are shifting the goalpost. And as a result of that, we will still go back to the people. We will go because Article 1 of our Constitution states clearly that the power vests with the people, sovereignty vests with the people. So we will go back to the people. And this time round, I can assure you that demonstrations will be held in every ward where there is an Azimio MCA, in every constituency where there is an Azimio MP, in every county where there is an Azimio governor, senator, women rep.
Now, as we conclude this discussion, just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, someone will ask a simple question here. If Azimio la Umoja is not comfortable with the handshake, the Kenya Kwanza side equally, they are not comfortable with the handshake. Why is it that Kenya Kwanza is obsessed with the discussion around handshake? Why are they coming out every time to say that we don't want handshake, we will not involve handshake, we will not welcome handshake? Why are they obsessed with that discussion? As you said openly, they are not going to go into a handshake. Raila Odinga understand what he went through after accepting a handshake. ODM and the Kenya and the Azimio side have interest in 2027 general election. Because of that, they will never go into a handshake side. That will compromise their position and the chances of explaining to the electorate the reason why they should be voted for and why not the Kenya Kwanza. Because you have to target their mistake, and you will be hitting in their mistake as you campaign, as you sell your agenda. So ODM will have a candidate. That candidate might be Raila Amolo Odinga. If not, he will be supporting another person, be it Kalonzo or whoever. But then you cannot support when you are in the government side. So they will never accept a handshake. William Ruto and his team, those close allies, understands it. I can tell you again. Forget about Kimani Ichung'wah and Gachagua. For them, they are obsessed on their personal political interest. But Ruto and his Rift Valley team understand. Azimio does not want a handshake. So the issue of discussion around the handshake is to mislead Kenyans on really position that Azimio is looking for. Ruto is running away from the truth. The truth is that he has to open the server. That statement of William Ruto confirms that he's not ready to open the server. He will not go into that direction, and that's why he's diverting the attention and the dialogue that has been initiated. Cost of living is something they can discuss and then work on it. IBC is something he's already accepting, but he's not willing to go on the server side. I explained to you yesterday the reason why Ruto might not allow or accept to open the server, because of the security purpose in this country. But that is what Azimio is pushing for. So it is evidently clear after listening to William Ruto, he is not willing to go in that direction. Babu Owino has issued a statement which is very clear that now going forward is going to be very easy, and within 1 week, Azimio will be calling for the mass action. That mass action will take position from any point, any jurisdiction, any boundary where Azimio leader has been elected, be it an MCA, member of parliament, senator, woman rep, governor, going forward. To me, that will work for Azimio. But if they sit pretty, and the way Ruto is talking, you find that there's nothing, even single item you can believe in William Ruto. He cannot be trusted on anything. So pushing through that direction, it might not work. For Azimio, it's just to retreat, strategize, and continue with the mass action. That can compel William Ruto to succumb to the pressure and open the server, so that he can allow servers to be open, because he's showing no any signal to show that he's ready to open the server. So the repeat discussion around the handshake also proves the panic in William Ruto and the uncomfortability in William Samoei Ruto when it comes to discussion around the server. So it is right time, like Babu Owino has said. No one in Azimio want handshake. Why is UDA and the Kenya Kwanza propagating the handshake issue? So for me, I feel Azimio need to withdraw from this dialogue, continue with the activity. Power belongs to the people. So it is time for the people to reclaim their power. As simple as that. Thank you so much. Let us meet in the comment section for continuation of this conversation.